This is Justin.
And this is Haley. You're listening to The Price of Avocado Toast.
We're a married millennial couple wanting to normalize the conversations around money. We want to hear about your highs and your lows,
The do's and the don'ts on your path towards financial freedom. Hi Toasties, welcome to The Price of Avocado Toast.
Whether you're a first-time listener or you've been following us from the start of this thing, we're so glad to have this conversation with you today. And by this conversation, I mean this really short and sweet conversation. Some might even call it a quickie. You guys, we have been so overloaded because I've got some good news. We are getting a football season here in California, and because of that, I've had to be a little bit more hands-on than I would be normally. My twin brother is our head football coach, and him and I have been collaborating a lot to kind of put together a season, so it's pulled me away a little bit from the house more than I would like, maybe more than Haley would like. But because of that, we decided to keep this episode short and to the point because time constraints.
You're literally one day in, so I forgive you already.
Thank you.
For all of the time you will miss in the next 3 months or whatever.
Thank you. In fairness, I'm also coaching track or trying to help coach track. So that took up last week as well. That was a problem.
Yeah.
So track and football. But I think that now that football started, track will slow down, and I probably won't coach track. I was just asked to be out there by the athletic director because he needed certified coaches to help out. But because football's starting, I think I can step away from that. So, but the other cool thing is that with football starting up, I'm also potentially going back to school. Well, going back to school to teach. So it looks like my 5th grade class will return potentially sometime in April. We're kind of working that out right now with the district, but I'm excited to get back in the classroom. It's going to be weird after being away from so long.
When you go back, are you going to do any academics, or will it just be a big party and fun fest? Because that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I would just really try to enjoy each other's company.
You know, I'm going to find ways to tie content in, and I'm going to find ways to touch on our curriculum, but it'll be really heavy social emotional learning because these kids have been through a lot. And to try and jump right into it like it's a normal year back at school is just not even appropriate as an educator. I can't do that. So it's going to be pretty wild for sure, but we're not going to do heavy learning. There's just no way that we could feasibly do that, and there's no way I would feel comfortable doing that. I mean, I also have 36 students, so who knows how they're going to split up my cohorts.
That's crazy.
I'm going to be teaching, I don't know, on the soccer field. Who knows? But it'll be cool to go back. It'll be interesting.
It'll be good to kind of see something that resembles what used to be normal. I can't even say normal anymore because normal is the 4 walls of the living room.
Well, it's crazy because I've only taught there for 2 years, and I left the first year for 5 weeks to be with you in Calliope, and then COVID hit. So I have now taught more outside of the classroom over computer at my current school than I did in the classroom, which is crazy to think about.
That's really crazy.
That absolutely is. So it's going to be really weird going back and be like, how do we do this again? Like, where do we have to walk for the cafeteria? I don't know. It's just crazy. It's absolutely wild.
It'll be interesting for everyone, though.
For sure.
So,
for sure.
I do have some things I want to bring up about the man, Mr. Dave Ramsey.
Our guy, Mr. Ramsey. We can't have a quickie episode without talking about him.
We can't, and he just keeps showing up in the media. It seems like every day for something new, but the latest and greatest is his house. He's selling one of his houses. I say one of because I assume he has multiple. He's selling his house in Tennessee for over $15 million. And it is on Instagram. If you look at Zillow Gone Wild, the comments on the picture are gold.
Do you remember
Priceless.
one of your favorites?
Oh my gosh, just all of these things about him buying it in cash, and that must have cost a lot of beans and rice.
You know which one I did actually see because you had sent me it, I think, and I peeked at it. Or you posted it on our account, and I peeked at it. One of the funny ones up top was, wow, I hope they have a big enough envelope to keep all that cash in. And that is funny to me. Like, that's pretty damn funny.
Because he only buys houses in cash, right?
Well, for sure.
And I envision cash.
Yeah.
Money. Dollar bills.
He only
$15 million.
Yeah, he only accepts $1 bills from the buyer.
Oh, I saw a bunch of comments about, like, I heard he was only reviewing cash-only offers.
That's too
like,
funny.
I just envision this You know all those shows on Netflix about like drugs and money and selling drugs and stuff? I imagine like a big stack of money.
An office filled with
Yes, just filled.
yeah.
Just filled like a storage unit, just
Yes.
filled.
Now
with
you're getting
cash.
into Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Also, Lexa from the Avocado Toast Budget posted a video today. Again, it's her second video about Dave Ramsey. Her first one was about the financial things that she disagreed with. And this one was everything non-financial. And the title of the video is Dave Ramsey's Community a Cult? And it goes like deep dive into just a whole lot of stuff. So it's about 25 minutes long on YouTube, and I highly recommend it. I'm going to link that in the show notes. It just gives you a lot to think about. And there's so much with going on right now with Dave Ramsey. Things just keep popping up. And I want people to keep having that conversation and thinking, wait a minute, I don't know if I want to follow this person because weird shit keeps showing up.
Yeah, for sure. And we have the power of, our dollar and our currency.
Yeah.
And we can choose where to spend it. And if it's not with him, it's going to somebody else. And it's probably better served with somebody else. Do you remember what, off the top of your head, like one of the really interesting things from her video? One that you were like, okay, whoa, I didn't even know about this. Like, this trips me out.
There were a few from employees of his that have come out and spoken against him for being laid off or fired or whatever. One woman who was not married went to HR and said that she was pregnant, and they fired her a couple weeks later. And she said, well, you can't fire me because I'm pregnant. And they were like, no, we're firing you because you've had premarital sex, and that goes against what our company stands for.
How did that pass, though? Like, did they put that into a contract somewhere that you couldn't have premarital sex? Like, that just seems so strange to me.
And they offered her a $20,000 severance pay if she signed a non-disclosure agreement, and she didn't sign it.
Atta girl.
So
that's awesome.
That was cool. And then another one was that one of his top radio co-hosts was having an affair, married and having an affair, and Dave Ramsey chose not to fire him.
Yeah.
And just a bunch of weird things. Like, it really depended on who it was. And
of course.
Yeah, I don't want to deep dive and give too much information from it, but it's a really good, well done video. Yeah, so nice job, Lexa.
Yeah.
I was really impressed.
That's cool. Shout out Lexa. Check it out, you guys. The Avocado Toast Budget. We'll link it into the show notes so you can go check it out. She's she's doing great work. It's really cool to see how much she's doing.
She spent so much time researching and making sure she got the right information for the video. You know, she has a disclosure in the beginning, like, I don't want to get sued. I'm allowed to post all this stuff. I'm allowed to have my opinion, and I want to just provide information, and it's very well done.
Good for her. I mean, she's got a master's degree. She knows how to
she's a very
research.
smart woman.
She knows how to, she knows how to find stuff that's appropriate and back it up with resources. So
yeah,
it's not surprising that she did her homework and went to town on him.
It's a good one.
Good for her.
It's definitely worth listening to, whether you currently support Dave or you don't. It'll just give you something to think about.
That's really cool. Very cool. All right, you guys. So, like we said, quickie episode. Final thing we want to touch about is our February goals. This is going to drop on February 24th. So it's the
last Wednesday.
It's the last Wednesday of the month. We've got 4 or 5 days left, however you want to count the 24th. And so we wanted to just go over our February goals. And so I'll let you talk about this first goal, honey, because you've been the one that's been tracking things.
So our first one was the no spend challenge, and the way that I formatted it basically was that it was just budgeted items only.
Yeah.
And Hopefully Frugal made us the template, and I have really slacked on posting it every day consistently. However, we are still doing really well with that. Mm-hmm. There are some things that we have gone, like, it's not really even off budget because we're still significantly under budget, but it wasn't explicitly pre-budgeted for.
For sure.
So there were some things that, like, I went to McDonald's, I got some French fries one day. That was not planned for. So stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to just be more intentional about planning stuff out when we do our budget meeting, and not like, oh, we'll just put it in this category and take money from here and move it around. Yeah, you can do that. You can play that game every month, but it's more rewarding, I think, when it's intentional spending.
Yeah.
Like, I need some new sandals. Oh, I'm sorry. I want some new sandals. Here's $50 for some rainbow sandals. We're going to categorize that and put that in, and that's so specific. It's not under clothing. It's not under any other random miscellaneous thing. And we still have money left in miscellaneous because we haven't just been buying random things all the time.
Yeah, I agree. We've done a really good job, I think, of sticking to the budget and, like you said, planning it out. And the interesting thing is a lot of people say they don't want to do the no spend challenges because they think it limits them. But I really like the way that you chose to kind of adapt it, and it made it easier for me in February to be mindful of where we're spending money because it didn't feel restrictive because it was saying, okay, this is in the budget and we have said it's in the budget, so it is okay to spend this today. I don't need to feel guilty for spending money, right? Because I actually put this in the budget, or it's something that we've planned for. We had to go to Costco the other day and get some bins, and
Love Costco.
we shout out Costco. We planned for those bins, and so it wasn't like, oh, I'm getting more crap at Costco I don't need. It was like, no, we budgeted for this, get them. So I was just really appreciative of the way that we set it up.
I'm also noticing, like, I bought some shoes for Calliope, for our daughter, and I kind of felt like, does she really need these shoes? Weird about it. And we have $100, which has gone down. It was like $250, and then it was $200, and now it's narrowed down to $100 a month. Set aside explicitly for her for whatever we want to get. But I'm starting to think that might even be too big. So as we do this, every month that goes by, I'm like, maybe we can narrow that down a little more and just be more intentional. Like this next month, I was saying she needs some clothes. She's moving into 18 months. We need to 18-month clothes. You know, we need to make sure she has stuff for warmer weather. Today we went to the park and she's wearing so many clothes and it's like 80 degrees outside.
Yeah, shout out California.
Sorry, all of you guys over in like Ohio and Texas and everywhere else that's just not California.
Yeah.
Freezing your butts off. Anyway, we need to budget some money for that, which does not happen every month. So I think I'm starting to see the pattern of like when we can increase that and then when it can be like way lower. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's
just
really
happens
cool.
every month.
Yeah, I'm encouraged by it. So our number 2 goal, you guys, was to get our front landscaping done, which we did.
We did.
We budgeted for that. The company that came in did an awesome job. It's much more drought resistant here in California. It's important for us. So we basically tore out the upper part of the lawn, laid some ground cover and some bark, just nice gravel, and got these really nice drought resistant plants that are kind of be some ground covering plants. So you can check out our Instagram and see some before and after pictures. I think it looks great. I was really proud of the work they did, and they're awesome people. They also set up the cinder block retaining wall, so we've used them before, and they're a great company.
Yeah, if you are local in Sonoma County, they are Sanchez Bros. The Sanchez Brothers, I think, is their actual business name. And if you want their information, send us a message on Instagram, and I will send it over to you. They're phenomenal, super affordable, the kindest people, and they do a very, very good job.
Yeah, and they're like landscaping and handyman work and just general get-it-dones around your house.
Like contracting, too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was really cool. Okay.
I'll take the last one. Our third goal was to get 12,000 podcast downloads by the end of this month. And I think we're going to make that happen because we only have 237 left.
So if you're listening to this on Wednesday the 24th, when it drops, you might be one of the 237 that helps us meet our February goal 4 or 5 days early. So shout out to you. You are part of us reaching our goal, and we cannot thank you enough for supporting us.
Yeah, it's been really cool just to have all these people come back every single week.
It has. It's been awesome.
All right, now, before we leave, because we said this was going to be short and quick one, you have to make sure that you are subscribed to this podcast because you do not want to miss next week's podcast episode.
Yes, big episode, and it's exciting. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit the subscribe button while you're at the site. I don't know, the page. Leave us a review. Leave us a rating. That's always cool.
Be really cool.
Yeah.
But next week we have big things coming your way. We have a big announcement. We are excited. We are nervous. We are happy. We are scared. We are all sorts of things.
We're feeling all the feelings.
And we cannot wait to share this with you because it's big and it means a lot to us. And you don't want to miss it.
Absolutely. So make sure you are subscribed and make sure that you keep listening. Help us get over 12,000 downloads by the end of the month.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be rad.
Let's do it.
I love it. That's going to do it for this episode of The Price of Avocado Toast. As always, we're so thankful to have had this quickie conversation with y'all, and we're so thankful to be part of this community. Happy budgeting.
You've got this, Toasties. Thank you for listening to The Price of Avocado Toast. If you vibed with this episode, share it with a friend.
If you're interested in speaking more with the financial coach, hit up our coach Ryan at MeFinanciallyFree on Instagram.